Hello, my name is Allison Egan Datwani-Glamorous Yogini, and welcome to Surrender, a healing blend of gentle, yin, and restorative yoga. Now, this particular practice is going to be a mini version of my surrender class, which you'll find at my online studio. It's going to be 20 minutes of what would normally be an hour class. Now, this was quite a challenge to take all of that healing, postures, movement, and put it in 20 minutes. So you asked, so here we go. What you need is you need your mat. Also grab yourself 2 yoga blocks and a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can get a large, dense pillow, or maybe just grab yourself a pile, maybe 2 or 3 pillows that are a little smaller. So let's make our way onto our mat. Come onto your hands and knees and take your knees as wide as the mat. Let your big toes come together to touch. Sit your hips back towards your heels, elbows to the floor, forearms to the floor. Tuck in your chin and rest your forehead down to the ground. If you prefer to stack your hands and make a pillow for your forehead, you can do that. Let yourself get heavy. Locate your breath, breathing you. When you find your breath in its natural state, breathing you, lifting and dropping you, you made it into the present moment. Notice 2 more cycles of breath. Lift you as you inhale and drop you as you exhale. With your mouth closed, deepen your next inhale. Open your mouth, exhale, sigh. Cooling, cleansing breath. Mouth is closed. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. One more time. Mouth is closed. Deep inhale. Exhale, sigh. Let your breath return to its natural state. The next time you inhale, open your eyes and transition to your hands and knees. Knees are hip-width apart, hands directly underneath the shoulders. Tuck your toes under as you arc your spine, move your chin away from your chest, gaze up, dog tilt. Exhale, point your feet, round your spine like a rainbow, tuck in your chin, look to your hips, cat pose. Inhale, tuck your toes under, gaze up, dog tilt. Exhale, point your feet, round your spine like a cat. Inhale, tuck your toes, arc the spine, gaze up, dog tilt. Last time, exhale, point your feet, round your spine, look to your hips, cat pose. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look at the top of the mat. Press your right hand down. Inhale, lift your left arm up, twist to the left. Exhale, bend both elbows and thread your left arm underneath the right arm. Drop your left shoulder, left side of the head to the floor. If it's hard to rest the head on the floor, you could always take your pillow underneath your head. Take your hips and swing them to the left. Extend the right arm forward, tented fingers. Keep your knees heavy. Take another deep inhale. Exhale and thread the needle pose. Inhale, place your right hand flat to the floor in front of your face. Push down into the floor to unwind your twist. Same way you came into the pose, come out. Reach the left arm up, look towards it. Exhale, left hand to the floor, hands and knees. Inhale, press your left hand heavy to the floor. Reach the right arm up as you twist right, gaze up. Exhale, bend both elbows and thread the right arm under the left. Drop your right shoulder to the floor, right side of the head to the floor. Swing your hips to the right. Keep both knees grounded on the floor. Inhale, extend the left arm forward and tent onto your left fingertips. Encourage the hips to swing just a little further to the right as you feel your right side body move towards gravity's pull downward, and the outside of your right shoulder becomes one with the ground. Deepen your next inhale. Exhale. Inhale, place your left hand flat to the floor in front of your face. Push the left hand down to unwind. Twist yourself open. Exhale, hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Walk your hands a step forward of your shoulders. Press your hips up and back and lift your knees off the floor. Melt your heels down and back to the mat. Hands are heavy. Look through your feet, downward facing dog. Inhale, come high to the balls of your feet. Exhale, bend your knees. Move your ribs towards your thighs. Stick out the buttocks. Look through the feet. Bent knee, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Take a slow walk to the top of the mat. Take as many steps as you need to get there. When you arrive, take your feet as wide as the mat. Heels are in, toes are out. Deep bend of the knees. Heavy head, heavy hands to the floor. Press your feet into the floor. Keep the knees bent as you round yourself up, nice and slow to stand. Once your shoulders come over your hips, you can lengthen your legs. Roll the shoulders onto the back. Reach your arms overhead. Lift your chest, gaze to the ceiling, star pose. Exhale, bend both knees, hands in prayer at your hearts, goddess pose. Take a look down beyond your prayer to the floor and press your knees out to the baby toe sides of your feet so you can see your toes inside your knees. Move your shoulders over your hips and see if you can sink inch lower. Deepen the bend of your knees. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, feel heat build through your body. Inhale, push the feet down, lengthen your legs, squeeze the buttocks to help your balance, lift your chest, reach the arms up as you gaze up, star pose. Exhale, bend your knees, take your hands in prayer at your heart, shoulders over your hips, goddess. Inhale, push the feet down, lengthen the legs, squeeze the buttocks, raise the gaze up, star pose. Exhale, bend your knees, hands in prayer at your heart, goddess. Inhale, push the floor away, reach yourself up to star. Exhale, bend your knees, hands at the heart, glide the shoulders over the hips. Let's stay here. Just take it down, deeper bend of the knees, press the knees out. See if you can go a half inch lower. Lift your heels off the floor for added challenge and put a little bit more weight to your big toe mounds. Sink the hips down a little lower, press the knees out. It's okay if you shake. You're going to feel the burn. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. Try to keep your heels lifted as you push the balls of the feet to the floor. Lengthen through the legs, squeeze the buttocks, raise the arms up, gaze up. Tiptoe star. Exhale, heels to the floor. Bend your knees. Take your hands in prayer at your heart. This time, take your hands inside your knees. Fingers point down. Move the hips back. Shoulders are forward. Take your right shoulder and roll it in. Press the right knee away with the right hand. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, roll the left shoulder in. Press the left hand away into the inside of the left knee. Look over your right shoulder. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, turn the toes to point forward. Keep the feet as wide as the mat. Bend the knees and fold in an easy ragdoll position. Inhale. Take your fingertips to your shins. Lengthen through your spine, your arms. Look forward of the mat. Wide-legged, half-forward fold. Exhale, deeper bend to the knees and fold down. Inhale, grab your blocks and place them on their lowest, highest facet. And then step your left foot back. Keep the right foot in the right edge of the mat. And lower your left knee down to the floor. Point through the left foot. Make sure your right knee, your right toes point towards what would be 2 o'clock if the top of the mat's at 12 o'clock. And if you feel a little discomfort under your left knee, you could grab your pillow, your cushion, place it underneath your knee. And even if you don't feel discomfort, it feels very nice, particularly as we move ourselves down close to the floor. Shoulders over the wrists, heart, move it through the gate of your biceps as you gaze up to the ceiling, lizard pose. Tuck your left toes under, keep your left knee grounded, move your hips back, lengthen the best you can through the right leg as you flex the right ankle, drop your head through the arms, look to your hips in a wide-legged half split. Inhale, bend your right knee, glide the hips forward, point the left foot, send your gaze up. Exhale, tuck the left toes under, hips move back, lengthen the right leg, drop the head through the arms. Inhale, glide the hips forward, right foot is heavy, point the left foot, gaze up. Exhale, tuck your left toes under, move your hips back, and let's stay here in a wide-legged half-split pose. Take another deep inhale. Exhale, look at your hips as you tuck in your chin. Feel the back of the neck open. Inhale, gaze forward at the top of the mat. Now here, let's walk the blocks with the hands over to the right, and then heel toe your right foot over to the left edge of your mat. Squeeze your inner thighs together and swing your hips over to the left and let yourself come onto the baby toe side of the right foot. Now, if you need to, you could always bend the right knee as your variation, or your right leg can be long. Possibly, you can even push your right big toe to the floor and feel this deep opening in the outside of your right hip. You can stay here with your hands either on the floor or on the blocks, but if you want a little bit more, bend your right elbow down to the block, followed by the left elbow, interlace the hands. You could drop your head down. With your mouth closed, take a deep inhale and keep your lips sealed as you exhale. Swing your hips to the left. One more time, take a deep inhale. Exhale, possibly press the right big toe down to the floor. Inhale, gaze forward of the hands. Walk your hands to the blocks and let's unwind. Walk the hands forward and then bend the right knee. Heel toe your right foot to the right edge of the mat. Walk your hands forward with the blocks. Tuck the left toes under. Lift the left knee off the floor. And then step your left foot forward. Take your feet as wide as the mat. Heels turn in, toes turn out. Deep bend to the knees. This time, let's step the right foot back. And if you have the bolster, the pillow, you could always adjust it so you can take your right knee down to the bolster or the floor. Point through the right toes. Make sure your left knee and toes point towards what would be 10 o'clock at the top of the mat. Hands under the shoulders. Move your heart forward and gaze up, lizard pose. Exhale, tuck the right toes under. Keep the right knee grounded. Swing your hips back. Lengthen through the left leg and flex through the left ankle. Drop your head through the arms. Look to your hips in your wide-legged half split. Inhale, bend your left knee. Glide the hips forward. Point your right foot. Gaze up, lizard. Let's flow. Tuck your right toes under. Hips move back. Exhale, look to your hips. Inhale, bend your left knee, glide the hips forward, open your heart to the ceiling. Exhale, tuck your right toes under. This time, let's stay here. Park the hips back, flex the left ankle, round the spine, look to your hips. With your mouth closed, take a deep inhale. Keep your lips sealed. Exhale. Inhale, gaze forward of the mat. Glide your hips slightly forward, bend the left knee slightly, and start to heel toe your left foot over to the right edge of the mat. Walk your hands with the blocks over to the left. Squeeze your inner thighs and swing your hips over to the right. You can either tuck your back toes or you can point them. See what feels best. Now the left knee, you may need to bend it. Possibly this side needs to be done differently. Maybe the left leg can be long. Come to the baby toe edge of the left foot. Stay here. Maybe challenge yourself. Press the left big toe down to the floor. You can have your hands on the blocks or the floor under the shoulders. Swing the hips right, shoulders over the wrists. And if you would like an extra challenge, you can take your left elbow down to the block. I like mine on the second highest facet, right elbow down. Interlace your hands and drop your head through your arms. And feel what sensations arise. And send your breath into what you feel. With your mouth closed, deepen your next inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Possibly you can press your left big toe down to the floor. Inhale. Gaze forward of your hands. Take your hands to the blocks. Lengthen the arms if they were bent. Bend your left knee and walk your hands forward with the blocks. And this time a little different. Heel toe your left foot over to the left lane of the mat, and then step your left foot behind you. Come to hands and knees. Move your hips to one side, your feet to one side. Make your way to sit, and you can take your bolster off to the side as well as your blocks. You can keep them nearby. You don't want them too far away. Here, with your feet at the very top of the mat, bend your knees. Hold on to the back of the thighs as you inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, round your spine, tuck in your chin, and walk your hands down your legs. Press the lower back to the floor, chin to chest. Shoulders and the back of your head come to the floor. Bend both knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze and take a little rock from side to massage your back waist. The next time your knees rock over to the right, let them fall down. And then with the bent knees stacked, take your feet off your mat to the floor. You can either keep your knees stacked or grab a block or a pillow in between your thighs. This may help to create some space in your low back waist. Take your right hand outside of your left knee. Extend your left arm out, shoulder height, left palm is up. Look over to the left and deepen your next inhale. Exhale, let the outside of your right hip get heavy and the back of your left shoulder reach a little closer to the ground. The next time you inhale, look at the ceiling. Transition your bent knees back to center. If you have a block, you can remove it for a moment. And then move your hips over to the right side of the mat. Knees are bent, and take your bent knees over to the left. Feet come off the mat to the floor. You could either keep the knees stacked or take your block on its lowest facet in between your knees. This may help you to get more space in your low back body. You could also put a pillow in between your legs. Place your left hand on the outside of the right knee and reach your right arm out, shoulder height, palm is up. And if you feel like that bothers your shoulder, you could always take your right hand to your right rib cage. As you gaze to the right, hips are heavy. Deepen the inhale through the right side of your chest. Exhale, let the back of your right shoulder fall a little closer to the floor. Inhale, look at the ceiling. Remove the block or the pillow from in between the legs. Come onto your back side. Let your hips line up with your shoulders and hug both knees into your chest. With the hands on the shins, inhale, lift your head and shoulders off the floor, nose to knees, full body crunch. Exhale, open your mouth. One more cleansing breath. Mouth is closed. Take a deep inhale. Open mouth. Exhale. Release your shoulders and your head to the floor. Extend your legs long on the mat with your feet hip width apart, knees and toes turn out. Relax through the buttocks, palms face up, shoulders on the back, head is on the floor. Move your chin away from the chest and close your eyes. If you prefer open eyes, you can always gaze at one point on the ceiling with your eyes half open. Now, if you're noticing it's difficult to get still and to rest here, feel free to bend your knees and take your feet as wide as the mat and knock your inner knees to touch. This will help you to neutralize and lengthen your spine so you can rest in stillness. Whatever you have, long legs, bent knees, I request that you stay here in silence for a minimum of a minute, or maybe work up to 3 to 5 minutes on your own. I will be turning the session off shortly, and I do thank you for taking this time to take care of you. If you enjoyed this mini practice, do check out the link in my bio to be directed to my online studio for live streams and on-demand class replays. Namaste. Have a beautiful day.